Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me, and this is what we're going to make today, and it is a little cascading exploding box. Now, I saw this on Pinterest a couple of times. I've seen it on someone else's channel. I can't remember exactly who, but this is not my original idea, but I just thought I would try to make it, so I come up with some different measurements, and I think it worked pretty good. On the top, I used a die that just says document, and I think this is a Heidi Swapp die. I'll try to find it, and if I can, I'll link it below. And I just cut it out 2 or 3 times and then glued them together. And then I used some different butterfly punches, some Martha Stewart. This is a paper shaper, and then another Martha Stewart. I think all of these are discontinued, but if I can find a butterfly die or a butterfly punch, I'll link it below. So I used that and punched out some different butterflies. I had some bling, some swirl bling in my stash. So you can see there, I put that on the edges. Put a couple of pieces of bling on either end just to kind of give it some more decoration. And then when you open this up, it just kind of explodes out. There is your cascading part right there. Now they stay standing up as long as you let them, but you can pull them down like that. There's 11 on each side, so you've got 22 places for photos, front and back. And then I just die cut a little shape right here at the top, and this is out of these dies, and this is the nesting inset oval frames, and I used one of those. I'll link those below to put right there. Just went around it with a blue Wink of Stella to give it a little bit of extra pop. Put a couple of pieces of bling here. I have a pocket here with a little tag in it, and then a pocket here that I just die cut a little swirl, and this swirl is from the Cherryland Rustic Cottage collection. I'll try to find it. If I can, I'll link it below. And I just cut a piece of it and put it here on this pocket, and then there's another little tag right there. So to close it up, you just lift those up, pull that up, and then pull the top over just like that. And you've got your box closed up. So it is a neat gift. It measures, let's see, almost 6 by 3 by 3. So 6 by 3 by 3. So that's a good size that you can put lots of extra goodies in. All right, so let's get into making this project. So you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 12 inches by 11 1/4. And on the 12-inch side, you're going to score at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4, and 11. Okay, then you're going to turn it, and you're going to score at 2 3/4. Let's see, at 8 1/2. Then you're going to go back, and at 1 3/4, you're going to score down just to the second score line. Just to that second score line. And then at 9 1/2, you're going to do the same thing. Just to that second score line. Okay, so that is your scoring for right now. Put your scoreboard away, and I think you can see the score lines there. So let's go ahead and fold and burnish all of these score lines. Now, don't worry about folding and burnishing the partial score lines. We're going to cut those away, so don't worry about that. All right, with the small score line up here, this is that where we scored at 11, so that's that 1 inch right there. With that one up at the top, we're going to cut away these 2 boxes right here. And I will have a photo of this over on my blog showing exactly where you score, exactly where you cut, that kind of thing. So just click on that link below and it'll take you over there to all the measurements and everything. All right, then you're going to skip this one and you're going to cut this one away. So we want to go in here on that score line right there, and on this score line, and this one we're going to cut away. So I just fold that back and just like that. We're going to do the same thing over here. So that is what you have right now. And now what we need to do is this score line right here where we scored that partial score line, we're going to cut all of that off. We don't need that. The only reason we scored there is so that we know exactly where to cut. So just cut that away. Like that. And then on this little box right here, you're just going to cut in on that box and then you're going to wedge. So just like that. Like I said, I will have a photo of this over on my blog so you can go over there and see exactly where to cut, exactly all the measurements, everything. Now I save these largest pieces because I can always use these to punch things out with. So we're going to lay that aside. Now this is going to go together like this. This is going to be your top right here. That'll fold over. So with this being your top, we're going to go ahead and put our mats and everything on here before we close it up. And I'm using Georgia Blue paper. If I can find a link to it somewhere in a store, I will link it for you. I'm not sure if it's still available or not, but this paper is beautiful. I love it. Okay, we're going to use this on the outside. Let me see which way this runs. I think it runs that way. So these mats are 5 5/8 by 2 5/8. And if I close my box up that way, that's going to be the right way. And you're going to need 8 of these, 4 for the inside and 4 for the outside. I'm just going to use art glitter glue to put my mats on. Now this piece is going to come up this way, so you're going to need to make sure that that is the right way up. It's the way it goes together. And a lot of times I just have to hold it together to see which way to turn my paper. So if you need to do that, just do that, no problem. So that's how it's going to go together. Now we have a piece cut for this, I think, right here. And I'm going to put it that way right there. And I'll tell you what size this is in just a second. Okay, this piece is cut at 7/8 by 5 5/8. That piece right there. And then we have 2 little pieces for the sides. One there and one over here. These pieces are cut at 7/8 by 2 5/8. Now you need 2 pieces for these tabs, and they're 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. So there is the outside cover. Now we'll cover the inside. These mats are the same size as the outside is. They're no different. So I'm just going to lay them on here and see which way I want to do these. Alright, then we have 2 pockets. This pocket is 2 1/2 by 2, and then I just punched a little thumb pull out of it there. There we go. I'm just going to put some glue on 3 sides. And we're going to lay it down right here. Right, and then I just made a little tag to go in there. This is just a little white tag made out of that white paper. And the tag is 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. Is what size the tag is. And I'm going to cut that off right there because it's going to show if on the outside if we don't. So let's cut that off. And then right here we have a little pocket that is 5 5/8 by 1 1/2. We're going to put that right there. Again, you're just going to put glue on 3 sides. And this will go down this way. And then this little tag to go inside there, it's just 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. So then we just slide that down in there. And I'm not going to worry about that sticking up because it'll fold over. Then I just die cut a little piece here that we're going to put right up here. This you can stamp on, write on, do whatever. I'm just going to put that right there in the center. Like that. And so now we're ready to put our little photo albums on, our little cascading photo albums. These are cut at 2 5/8 by 2 7/8 is the blue, and then the top is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And I just rounded 2 of the corners. Then you're going to score on the blue piece, you're going to score at 1/4 inch. And then these are going to go down starting right there on the opposite side of that score line. They're going to go down just like that. So you're going to glue these down starting right there. And I'm just going to use art glitter glue on this. So put your art glitter glue or your adhesive on the little tab. Place your first one down right up at that score line, but don't go across it. And just try to get that first one as even and straight as you can. That's how it's going to go. Then your second one, this is going to be just like any other cascading album out there. Your second one's going to go down right behind it. It's going to butt right up against that one, making sure that you get it just as straight as you can, and press that down. Just like that. So see, they're just going to continue to go that way. So you're going to have 22 of these, 11 on this side and 11 on this side. So we'll go ahead and put these down, and I'll probably just come back when I have them all put down, or I may fast forward it right here. There's our cascading photo album, and it folds up just like that, and it stays that way. This folds up this way, and then this is going to come over and close it up. Now, this is not showing like I want it to, so I'm going to take my blue Wink of Stella and around the edges to where that embossed, I'm just going to go around the edges on that embossed part and just kind of put a little bit of blue. So you see, all I'm doing is just right at the edge. I'm just going around with that Wink of Stella. So there we go, and now we have that edged, and that looks a lot better, and then I can stamp something and put it there if I want to. Now, we didn't cover the back side of these. You can cover those if you want. I think I'm just going to cover the front side, and there's plenty of places for photos. What we're going to do now is we're going to put some glue here and here, and we're going to close this up. Okay, so just bring that around. Meet your corners just like we always do. Close that up. And do the same thing on the other end, and then you have your lid made. So now all you have to do is close these up, pull that up, and pull your lid over. And there is your little box. Isn't that cute? Now we're going to do a little bit of decorating on the top. So I have used some butterfly punches that I have. I've got 3 different ones. And this one. And if I can find these, I'll link them below, but I'm not sure they're still available. I know this one is not. I got this one from Loretta. But I used those and punched out some butterflies out of the paper. And then I have just some different pieces of swirl bling here that I'm going to put down. And I'm just going to start that right at the edge. And then this one is another. I just cut these in two. I don't use them all in one spot usually. And I know those are hard for you to see. There we go. You can see them now. And then I've cut out the word document from an old die that I had. And it is an old, it's this die and I can't remember. I want to say that it's a Heidi Swapp die that I've had forever. But if I can find that, I'll link it below as well. But I just cut that out, and I cut it out 2 or 3 times. And on the ones on the back, I cut out in black. That helps when you are layering because it makes it look like there's a shadow behind it. So I'm going to put that right here, the bottom kind of. I think I'm going to lay it this way, like that. And yes, I'm just laying it right over the top of my bling up there. It's not going to hurt anything. Put a little bit more adhesive on there so it'll stick to it. And then for the butterflies, we'll just put those in different places. Then we're just going to go over these with our Nuvo glitter marker. Give them a little bit of shine. Now just take your butterfly wings and just kind of pop them up. And once they dry, they'll stay that way since you've got that glitter marker on there. Okay, so that is it, guys. That is our little box. It's a cascading mini album box. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget that all of the measurements, the links of product that we used, and everything will be below. And if you can't see it, just click that show more button and it'll drop down and show you all of the links, everything. On our blog, that link will take you directly to this post where you'll have photos and the measurements and everything so that you'll be able to make this project for yourself. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.